So this is the final part of the earthquake scene where Hwayang admits to him not being an Omega. So, and as always, I have, so let's start. So when Sangshaya asked for an explanation, he couldn't see Hwayang's face in the darkness, but he could hear him answer in a calm and gentle voice that he will give him an explanation, but not then, and how he was injured and they were waiting for a rescue, and it was best not to get angry so as to conserve energy. But Sangshaya coldly said no, and the moment he realized that he had been deceived, it was like a bomb went off in his brain, but calm and rationality quickly returned, and the scent lingering in his nose was extremely familiar, and he felt that he had clearly smelled it somewhere before, and it had even left a strong and deep impression. And when Sangshaya asked if Hwayang was that elusive, mysterious man from X Holdings, Hwayang didn't respond. He just reached and placed his hand over on the back of Sangshaya and asked him not to get angry. And he said that lying was his fault and if he could forgive him, but Sangshaya just let a cold laugh and yanked his hand out of Hwayang's grasp. Hwayang still reached out and said that how he had never apologized to anyone else besides Sangshaya in his life. And when Sangshaya found out that Hwayang's body temperature wasn't very high, it made it impossible for him to truly harden his heart, and he couldn't bring himself, as per his usual temper, to beat him up. So all he could do was just sit there and listening to Hwayang saying sorry and to forgive him. And Sangshaya thought that not to mention forgiveness, Hwayang should be happy that he didn't get killed on the spot, and how he should deserve an Oscar for his performance. And if the liar before him wasn't Hwayang one he cherished so deeply, he would have strangled him already. So Sangshaya just said to get lost and to stay the hell away from him. And he was so angry when he remembered how he had been trying to protect that seemingly fragile Omega, who turned out to be a very tough alpha like him. Hwayang still tried to act pitiful by saying how it was cold and tried to get closer to Sangshaya, but Sangshaya just shoved him away without mercy and told him to stay the hell away from him, and how they were not in a relationship to keep each other warm, and if Hwayang really tried pulling that clinches act one more time, then he would definitely kill him. And at that, Hwayang fell silent and didn't try to snuggle up again. And when Sangshaya pulled out his phone, he saw it was past 7 in the evening, and the phone screen glow casted a faint light which revealed Hwayang's covered in blood, and the blood from his shoulder had flowed down and soaked his entire body, and he looked very, very pale. And when Sangshaya saw Hwayang's condition, he was momentarily speechless, and even dread slammed into him. And so his heart softened and asked Hwayang to get closer to him. Hwayang stunned but immediately tried to get closer to him, but he couldn't. And seeing that weak and listless look, it really irritated Sangshaya that he roughly pulled Hwayang by the shoulder and said not to get the wrong idea, and he just didn't want to be trapped in a space with a corpse, and how being deceived was bad already. And Hwayang didn't say anything and just stayed close to Sangshaya's side. When he said that how the rescue had started, and all the situation about the rescue team just by hearing the footsteps. And when Sangshaya heard him, he was so shocked and felt that Hwayang's pheromone strength exceeded all his expectations. And when he was thinking about Hwayang's pheromone scent and having a mental breakdown, Hwayang, sensing that, came clean and said that he was indeed not an Omega, and how he had been using a pheromone modifier all along. He said sorry to Sangshaya for deceiving him on purpose, but he had never meant any harm to him, and it was just that he liked him so much. But Sangshaya had no interest in his apology and just snapped to put his soothing pheromones away, and if Hwayang kept releasing them, then he would be dead, and he did not want to get trapped with the corpse once again. But Hwayang was shameless enough to latch onto that tiniest trace of leniency and asked Sangshaya if he was worried about him and how he was not going to die so easily, for he needed to stay alive to win him over. Just imagining being pursued by Alpha male, Sangshaya's scalp tingled, and when he suddenly felt that Hwayang could be that pervert who had assaulted him at that event. But he couldn't just up and straight ask Hwayang about it, and when his mind was in a complete mess, he awkwardly decided to let a few things about that night when Hwayang admitted that he was indeed the man from that event. And he admitted that he liked Sangshaya so much and he couldn't stand the thought of him being with anyone else beside him. And when they get out of there, if Sangshaya would let him continue pursue him. But Sangshaya's expression darkened and thought that it wasn't pursuit, but it was deception and fraud. Sangshai replied to Hua Yang saying that he had no interest in Alpha who were keen on rape. And though Sangshai was cursing him viciously, in his mind deep down, he didn't want to see Hua Yang die just like that, and it would only be fair if he was dragged and beaten up a few times. And if he was really going to die, then he should at least clarify things before dying. And Sangshai was caught up in that tangled web of thoughts when Sunwon Lang Changyu and the rescue team were finally able to rescue them after almost over an hour of coordinated work.